Hey everybody, welcome back. It's same day, same egg. Hold the baby. Well, mom's holding the baby right now, so I'm not holding the baby. But you get what I mean. It's like, oh, I'll have the usual. No baby this time, though. I'm trying to watch my audio levels. I know you're asking, because you're gonna ask, you know, and I think you should ask. NL, if it's later that same day as the last two episodes, what'd you end up doing for lunch? I gotta tell you, can I tell you something? I had all these grandiose plans for lunch. What am I gonna do? I don't know, maybe I'll try a banh mi. People won't shut up about it. Maybe I'll go freaking crazy. Maybe I'll have like an acai bowl. I did the errand I needed to run. Baby started to cry, and I said, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go through the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm not complaining. I would still consider it a delicious lunch, and I maintain my hypothesis, by the way, which you may or may not remember. I know you're supposed to feel bad after you eat McDonald's, but I actually feel amazing, and I think that that's bad. I know that was a complicated journey we just went on, but like I always hear people be like, oh, you know, I love McDonald's when I'm eating it, but then, you know, 2 hours later, I feel like garbage. And I'm like, we're 3 hours later? I feel like it's the first real meal I've eaten in years. I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I could, and I'm not being facetious, really. I mean, I know this isn't the case, but I feel like I could run a marathon right now. Like, I'm so nutrated. My energy levels are off the freaking charts. Maybe because it's, you know, pretty calorie dense, obviously, but I'm just saying, you know, like if you're supposed to feel bad, I didn't get the memo. I think for sure, you know what, I don't know, man. I think there's a couple of things that might, you know, be coming to pass there. One might be, you know, you're eating a little bit too much of it, you know. There was one weekend I remember in university. I think in 2 days I ate like 3 fast food meals, and I remember by the third meal I was like, this is not good. Like, I just want to eat a salad. But I think if you do it in moderation, it's actually, like, rejuvenating. I'm not even being facetious, like, I feel like I just stepped out of the hot tub. It's crazy. I feel incredible. That being said, you know, I don't want to necessarily, you know, as an influencer, sometimes people say, like, you know, oh, you know, your audience, like, shouldn't look to you as an influence. There's nothing you could do about that, you know? Here's the thing, if you're watching somebody's content, if you enjoy their content, you're gonna, you know, pick up certain habits or mannerisms that they have, especially, you know, the younger you are, and don't take this the wrong way, you know, like, I'm not trying to say, like, you're a sheep, but the younger you are, probably the more subject you are or, to that kind of, like, influence, right? So I'm not trying to say eat McDonald's, it's health food. All I'm trying to say is, anecdotally, I feel like, honestly, I feel like I just took like a performance-enhancing drug. I don't know if it's my brain has never had access to this much energy while recording an Isaac episode before. You know what? It also might be I got the blinds open, so the sun's coming in. There's an element maybe to that. Hoping perhaps we could leverage some of this HP potentially and turn it into damage. That'd be wonderful. But yeah, I had a nice little run of errands with the baby. First time ever taking the baby out in the car by myself. Went totally fine, but definitely, like, you know, it's a little nerve-wracking. Can I tell, like, so this is such a stupid story, but it's so good. You know, I'm like, sometimes I get paranoid about things. I wouldn't say to like a, you know, a mental health concern level, but like, you know, especially when you're talking about stuff like, dude, this is some good eats right here. To call Alton Brown, this is some good eats. Yeah, not to like a mental health like danger level, as we go down to the next level. But like, so I put we were leaving, you know, the place I had to run the errands at. I put the baby from the stroller, has like a bassinet that just slots right into the car seat. That's a beautiful item. That is a beautiful item. I don't know if I really like Greed's Gullet, honestly. It kind of scares me. We can't get to it just yet anyway, but, so I have to be clear. Very, very consciously had, a memory. Short term. Like, it was not a long time ago. where I put the baby in the car seat. Did you see that? The car seat clicked, which means that it's in there. It also adds an extra trigger to your brain, right? I was in the drive-thru. I had to wait in line for a little bit. I looked behind me. I saw the car seat, but didn't see the baby's legs in it. And it just, like, takes over your brain, right? Like, I was turning as if I was looking through my rear view window, and I couldn't see, like, her leg because she had moved it to the side. And I was like, holy... Like, I hadn't even... I didn't take her out of the bassinet or the seat at all, but my brain was like, oh yeah, you, like, left the baby on the sidewalk back there. Probably. Even though you obviously, like, you know, put her in the seat, clicked it, looked at her and said, hey, baby, and then, like, you know, when the stakes are high, the brain, it likes to play tricks on you. It's crazy. Anyway, you get terrible dreams. This is something I don't know if it's all parents have, but definitely both Kate and I have. We'll be like just, you know, enjoying life, and then out of nowhere, like a daydream will just pop into your head that's like, hey, you know, what if you fell backwards down the stairs while you were holding the baby? Like, I think it's like an evolutionary thing where when you think about it, then, like, it makes you more paranoid to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future, but it's also deeply disquieting. She tells me the same thing. Like, this morning, she came in. Oh, yeah, I mean, that was on video in the last episode, right? She was like, I gotta cut the tags off this thing. And I was like, oh, did you have a dream that she, like, ate it? And she was like, worse. Say no more, right? Anyway, errands went well. You know, and if that isn't a metaphor to some extent for parenthood, like dreaming all day about, like, the sandwich you're gonna eat, and then, whatever, we'll just do whatever's easiest, because the baby's a little upset. I'm not complaining, by the way. Like I just said, it was a performance-enhancing meal. We've only taken one bit of damage on this run so far, and I think it was as close to unavoidable as possible. But yeah, feeling good, having a good day so far. Beautiful sunny day, weather's nice. I don't, you know, should I apologize? Is that like, I'm looking outside right now? It's gorgeous. It's help. Sunny, but just enough clouds so that it's not like a harsh sun. Oh, and that, you know, you see so much green, so much blue. It's looking like a Pacifico can out there. Don't hit me. Anyway, so we can pretty much just end the episode there. I got nothing else to say, you know? Everything's going well. I had I have a petition. If I could have one bit of influence on the gaming industry, this is sincere, by the way, 100%. And I'll do you one better. For some reason, I have been like this since I was a child. Hold on. I would rather have a Spirit Heart than an arcade on the next floor. Is that statement true? I believe so. Okay. Let's try to get a Spirit Heart then. If we could get to 5 cents and get both, that would, or 10 cents, I guess, and get both, that would be fine as well. But we probably can't, so let's just accept this, get our deal with the devil, and move on, probably on the next floor. We should have 100% because of the way that, the floors have shaken out so far. Yes, okay. But this is sincere, okay? Ever since I was a kid, you know, I would go to, like, Jumbo Video, which is, like, you know, Canada's Blockbuster. We eventually got Blockbusters, by the way, and you know, that was like, oh, an exotic, ooh, a fancy weekend. We're not going to Jumbo Video, we're going to Blockbuster. But can I tell you? I have nothing against Blockbuster. I'll get back to the original point eventually. I've got nothing against Blockbuster. I think they always, you know, the company was around for like 30 years, and then they you know, reject Netflix, and that's the whole narrative around their business now, right? Like, now it's like, Blockbuster is like a cautionary tale of what could go wrong. But for like 30 years, it was ubiquitous. I'm not saying, you know, obviously it was a mistake. It just sucks that, like, that's how it went out, right? I mean, who's got the sympathy for the brand in the first place? I'm just saying. But anyway, you know, the Blockbuster I got nothing against. But I will say, and it's not just Canadian pride, Jumbo Video, to me, was a better video store, and anybody that lives in Canada might be able to weigh in here. We didn't have Rogers video stores where I grew up. It was just Jumbo. and then like a couple like local places. Like sometimes the local convenience store would also do video rentals and stuff like that, game rentals. But Jumbo was, in my opinion, better because they had a popcorn maker inside. And sometimes, you know, you go in there, they haven't made the popcorn recently, or it's like all kernels, and you're like, it's not that great. Some of the time, though, they'd recently made a fresh batch, and you were like, you know, bon appetit down the hatch. And either way, even when there's no popcorn, movie theater popcorn smell inside of the establishment is a nice thing to begin with. Now, that's the kind of perks you can offer when you're charging, like, you know, $8 a movie or something like that. These are both not very good, so that's a bit of a ripoff, but we're moving on. We're going to go to our item room, and then we're going to go down to the next floor. But even as a child, I was the kid, you know, go to the video store, we're going to rent a game. What are you going to rent? A lot of kids, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Story, F-Zero, Super Mario RPG, me, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. You know, Family Feud. And that's the kind of energy I still want to bring into 2021. You know, I just played and bought Wheel of Fortune for the Nintendo Switch. It's careful, because the sale's about to run out. Until December 31st, 2024, it's 30% off on the Nintendo Switch store. And I gotta tell you, I mean, it just kind of boggles your mind. First off, I recognize that the target audience for a Wheel of Fortune game for Nintendo Switch is not the most discerning, elitist video gaming audience you're going to get out there, but they deserve more respect than they're getting. The new Family Feud game for Switch is pretty not good. I think it's kind of like, it's okay, but it reuses questions from the game that's a decade old. More than a decade old at this point. And, like, it's just, like, I don't want to say poorly optimized, but it's got weird things like the keyboard is really slow. Which is the same thing in Wheel of Fortune. Like, the keyboard, the on-screen keyboard is just outrageously slow, and you're just like, why couldn't you just... Like, there's no logical reason that pops into my head that these games that should be, like, really, really easy to design, because you're essentially just copying the design from a, 40-year-old game show, why should they be done so badly? But anyway, so long story short, I do not recommend buying it unless you're insane like I am. Maybe there's speed upgrades in here. Yes, okay. I still don't want black powder, but we'll, be picking our battles there. But I want more game show games nonetheless. For some reason, video games based on TV shows, they have a unique sort of veneer to them that I really like, especially game shows. And I don't know how to, explain it. And game shows in particular are not as popular as they were maybe like, a decade and a half ago. So, I can understand why we're not getting so many. But dude, come on. Where's my new Price is Right game? People will actually hit me with like, oh, they made one recently. And I'm like, I think you're thinking of the one that came out in 2009 for the Nintendo Wii. And they're like, no, I saw it recently. And then they get back to me like a minute later. They're like, yeah, it came out in 2009 for the Nintendo Wii. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Because once a week I look at this stuff. Because I'm fundamentally broken on a human level. And I know that it would, like, absolutely crush it on stream. This is not a joke, by the way. In university... I'm trying to think. We got a Wii. The first game we got was Wii Sports. Well, of course, came with the console. It was the pack-in. Second game we got, WarioWare. I forget the subtitle. Twisted, something like that. Shake It? WarioWare Shake It, something like that. Third game we got, Tiger Woods PGA 2007. Fun. I mean, of course, motion controls were like all the rage. So to be able to, experience that in a contemporary fashion was cool. And golf and bowling and tennis are like the three games you want in that situation. And then, years later, you're like, please God, just let me use a controller. I'm begging you. But then the fourth game that we got, Price is Right, baby. Price is Right for Nintendo Switch. I paid full price for it. on a student's budget, and I have no regrets, I might add. I had a wonderful time. I played it so much, I learned not the price of everything, but the price of many, many things in that game. Like, I always, and it's kind of slipping away now, it's like 11 or 12 years ago, but I always remember anytime they offered a game that had Knorr sides, you know, like instant mashed potatoes or something like that, it was always either $1.65 or $2.65. I can't remember. But I'm like, why don't you just remaster that son of a gun, put it out? Like, I know that nobody's gonna buy it except me, but at the same time, how much money could it possibly cost you to just, like, you know, literally, like, drag the EXE into your pipeline and then just send it? I don't know, maybe you gotta pay for the rights again? I don't know, but Ubisoft has, like, all those rights. I'm not gonna say they 100% own the prices right, but they're the only publisher making those game show games now. At least the North American ones. Something about a game show game, even as a child. I always rented weird games. Like, I very rarely rented, like, Mario 64. I would always rent, like, Mario is Missing, the game where you play as Luigi and Mario has been, like, he's lost somewhere on planet Earth. So you'd, like, walk around with Luigi in Italy, and then people would be like, you know, is that the Leaning Tower of Pisa? And then when you had to do a boss fight, it was just, like, geography trivia. I saw Mario next to a tall building. What is it? Oh, that's the Leaning Tower of Pisa, dude. Kind of a weird kid. Who would have thought? Weird kid becomes totally normal, well-adjusted adult with no problems whatsoever. I'm just kidding. All right, hold on. This run is going very, very, very well. We have nothing to fear. Not even fear itself, I would say, to be honest with you. I'm not afraid of fear here. This is only Depths 1, is that correct? Yes. No, not correct. Not correct. Okay. So we wish to do boss rush here. Oh my god, this is such a fast run. I don't know why I just walked into them there, but we've done very well. We've taken very little damage on this run. I'm a happy man, no doubt about that. Starting to realize, you know why older people talk about the weather all the time? You know, the older you get, the more of an impact it has on your mood. I feel incredible. Just, like, I'll spend, I know we have piercing shots, I'll spend a little bit, HP-wise, just to get that speed there. Like, just the sun pouring through the window, combined with the restorative power of 10 McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. It gets you going. You know what I think it is, though? I actually don't think that the McDonald's thing is... And this is me not just trying to find a loophole. This is me being genuine. I think what it is that the food is super salty, but then if you get, like, a, you know, a medium drink along with it, you feel, like, so refreshed and hydrated afterwards that it's, you know... I drink a lot of water, but there's something about, you know, drinking 800 milliliters of Coke Zero in less than 10 minutes that it really kicks your brain into overdrive somehow. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway. Got a death card. Moving on here. Like, absolutely no concerns. This is going to be an easy and downright fun win, I might add. I do wish we got a form of mapping. I feel like we might have played a little sloppy. But, you know, somewhat consequence-free as well at this point. And this is, hey, the opportunity to use Box of Spiders, which is, you know, an item people always want to see more of, but doesn't always show up that often. And well, that's not fair. It shows up somewhat frequently, but it's always hard to, you know, get rid of an item to take Box of Spiders, because Box of Spiders is not that much better than... you know, the average spacebar item that shows up, but if you don't have any other options, then it's actually like, it does in a pinch, if you will. So yeah, I'm out of anecdotes. That's about it. I got a new phone. That's an anecdote. I always, it's amazing, like, I'm still, like, embroiled in this era of technology that I grew up in, where, like, you know... if you want to run like a game, you have to put a floppy disk into your disk drive, and then you go to the command prompt and you use you know, cd ... to you know, just command directory stuff to get around to the directory that the game is in or the drive is in, and then, you know, you get the idea. You know, doing that stuff, and then it doesn't run, and you're like, okay, well, this is really like half of the game is just trying to figure out how to get it to work. Modern technology, like, it's not perfect, but it's so, like, it's miles ahead of where it was when I was younger. Like, I always hesitate to get a new phone because I'm like, oh, it's going to be such a hassle to, you know, port over all my apps and passwords and stuff like that. And then it literally, like, when you get a phone, it just has, like, a button on it. It's like, hey, do you want all your old stuff? And then you press it, and it's like, all right, give me 45 seconds. And it just does it. Like, it's crazy. I'm not a frivolous person when it comes to phones at all. I much prefer to just let it ride on one that I've enjoyed. I had a, I forget what variant of Galaxy. I had like an S7 or S8. And then for my birthday in 2019, Kate got me a Pixel 4. And I gotta tell you, I loved the Galaxy. The Pixel, great screen, nice camera. Something was not right with the battery life. Like, the battery life was never great. Like, it was a downgrade, which I just took as like, hey, it's a higher performance phone. It offers a different thing. But then, like, especially when we got like the baby monitor apps, and I accept this is as much an app problem as a phone problem, but the baby monitor apps just exacerbated the issue. Like, literally, like, if I woke up in the morning, turned on the baby monitor app to see how the baby was doing, and then, like, went to pour a cup of coffee, by the time I poured the cup of coffee, the phone battery had gone from, like, 100 to 95. Oftentimes, like, I would look at my phone for, like, 10 minutes in the morning, and then put it in my pocket. Turn it off, well, turn the screen off, by the way, like, lock it. And then by the time, you know, like, my stream started 2 hours later, it will have gone from, like, 95 to 20, which is just, something's not right. Maybe I got a bad phone. Maybe that's just the Pixel. Maybe it's the Pixel. The app for the Pixel is just that bad, but Kate got me one of the new Galaxies, and I got it, so far, I've been having it's pretty cool. I don't really do that much with it. I'm pretty much like, I'm fairly boomerish when it comes to cellular telephone technology. Let me just put it this way. I was on the toilet, I was reading books until like 2015, 2016. Sincerely. I'd have like a bathroom book. That's how I read the entirety of the Guided by Voices biography, which is kind of, I'm a little cheesed off because, like, you know, the Guided by Voices, by the way, is an indie band from, I think, Dayton, Ohio. They're like, you know, toiled in the indie scene and then got a little bit of popularity and had some songs on like Scrubs, and then they're like, we're breaking up, we're doing one final like party / concert. So I bought the biography and I read it. 5 years later, those guys were like, we're getting back together. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess, you know, I guess you'll be releasing the next chapter in the book for free to current owners, right? Because it was called like the definitive front to back story. And then all of a sudden, you might say, NL, if you enjoy the band, aren't you happy they're making more music? Sure. I would love to say that. Am I also now like, if I want to know the full story, I got to get a second book? Yeah, there's an element of that in my headspace for sure. I haven't listened to any of their new material because I hold it against them, quite frankly. I'll always have, you know, Alien Lanes. I know you're gonna say, what about B1000? B1000's a great album. If you're just getting into it, sure, B1000 is, you know, I get it. You can bump I Am a Scientist and you know, feel something. Alien Lanes, though, is what it's all about, man. Actually, well, to be honest, can I be straight up with you? Propeller is what it's all about. That's their best album, in my opinion, front to back. We don't need to get into it. Like, it's a little too insular, but I know B1000 is considered the classic, and Alien Lanes is kind of like their wowie zowie, but Propeller is really like, I mean, Propeller is their revolver as far as I'm concerned. I feel like Owen Wilson in the Royal Tenenbaums. Everybody knows that General Custer died in the Battle of Little Bighorn. What this book presupposes is maybe he didn't. Finish this run. I'm getting too pitchfork core. Get me out of here, okay? We're making too many references that highlight my baked-in pretension. Go, 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 go. Don't even look at it, just go. Standard of play falling mightily over time, but that's okay. You know what would really tie this run together for the chest? And I'm not gonna say an Emperor card, although it would be very nice. And that was a redeemable dodge there. That dodge redeemed part of this run for us. What would be really nice for us is actually if we picked up Shielded Tears. Shielded Tears would take us to the next level. We got a good rate of fire, great damage, piercing shots, like we would... I mean, we got every form of piercing shot in the game, almost. Maybe you'd consider giving me Sacred Heart? Owner of a Sacred Heart. You may lose yourself inside a shotgun shack. Yo, that could kind of work. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I gotta write that one down in the moleskin. That could work. If I could just travel back to like 1980, let's say 1982, that could be a big one. Yo, Magic Mush. And then, you know you're getting close to the end of the run, and you got a lot of items when you start getting bomb synergies. That's good stuff. I'm telling you, that mashup could work. And people doubt my mashups, but you shouldn't, because remember, we conceptualized, we didn't make it, but we conceptualized that mock-up of Depeche Mode and Britney Spears' Toxic. Now I can't even recall it, but it's, you know, hold on. I just remember that it ends with like, I'm addicted to you, won't you reach out and touch faith? And I love what you do, won't you reach out and touch faith? Baby, can't you see? I'm Jesus. I don't know if that'll work, but hey, well, you know what? We'll let the eggheads in marketing deal with that. Could be like a Madonna thing. We could court some controversy. Don't give me Yumheart, by the way. Like, you know, that's I might still be Maggie from the block, but that doesn't mean I want Yumheart again. But that mashup could work. You could call it Owner of a Lifetime. Once in a lifetime mixed with Owner of a Lonely Heart. I'm still working it through, okay? I mean, you know, I think it could work. Maybe I'll talk to David Byrne. He probably, he's not really of the Twitter generation. You might have to, like, write him a letter, but... Bro, just give up. You're beaten. You've objectively lost. Like, it's BM not to resign here. Okay. He has been destroyed. As of now. Good run, and that's 3 in a row. We're feeling pretty solid about our Isaac play lately. If you enjoyed the episode, hey, watch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Northernlion. We're playing a lot of fun games every week. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. See ya!